showtime for Ome. During their travels in the Hone region, Ash, his best friend Pikachu, May, Max and Brock had come across a carnival that was set to open in the morning. After watching an impressive display from a magician and his assistant putting together a big tent, the gang decided to take a break from their travels and enjoy the carnival. Everyone was having a great time going on all the rides and eating a lot of carnival food. Whilst walking around, the crew noticed a poster lying on the ground. "Hey, what's this?" asked Ash, as he picked the poster up. "It looks like one of those posters I've seen around the place for the Great Butler's magic show," Brock replied. "Hey, that sounds like fun. We should go and see it tonight," said May, getting excited thinking about it. "What about you guys?" "Sure. I haven't seen a magic show in years," Brock replied. "I've never seen a magic show." "It sounds like fun," said Max whilst chewing on cotton candy. "Then let's do it," agreed Ash. "I can't wait to see the show." That night the group were enjoying the magic show at the big top. The Great Butler himself was on stage performing a various amount of magic tricks that got the crowd clapping and cheering. Two clowns would occasionally appear on stage to help Butler set up for his next trick, jumping and cheering each time they came in. After the final magic trick of the night, Butler's assistant Diane and their Pokemon Mightyena and Curlia presented themselves one last time to thank everybody. "You've all been a wonderful audience. Thank you all so much for attending tonight and hope you enjoyed the show," said Butler to the audience. Everyone clapped and cheered louder than before. "However, since you've all been so great, there's enough time for just one more trick for tonight. But for this one, I will need 2 members of the audience to come and help me. Now, who would like to have the chance to become magicians?" The audience all raised their hands and begged for a chance. Especially May and Ash, who rose from their seats eager to give it a shot. Butler raised his hand in the air with one finger pointing upwards. "I think I've found the perfect magicians to help me. I shall choose you and you," he called, pointing towards Ash and Maximum. "Whoa, that's awesome. Come on, Max, Pikachu, let's go," Ash cried, leaping off its seat. "Sure," replied Max nervously. Ash took his hand and jetted down the stairs whilst Pikachu jumped on Ash's shoulder. May looked really jealous and folded both her arms together tightly. "Why do Max and Ash get to go? I wanna be a part of the show too," she grumbled. "It should have been me out there. I should be the one to get to perform for Diane," moaned Brock, who, as always, was head over heels for any lady. "Typical you," she replied and went back to sulking. Ash and Max got onto the stage where Butler and Diane welcomed them on. "Welcome, fellow upcoming magicians. You look like you have a strong passion for show business. With your help, our final trick for tonight shall be one to remember." "What are your names, fellow magicians?" asked Diane. "My name is Ash and this is my partner Pikachu." "Pikachu." Max looked a little shy. "My name is Maximum." "Great. Then let's get started," Butler called, as the 2 clowns came back on stage to present a large box that they opened up. "Seeing as you are already great magicians, let's see if you can escape the burning box." "The burning box?" Ash asked. "All you have to do is escape the box before it bursts into flames." "I don't think I can," said Max nervously. "It'll be fine, trust me," said Diane with confidence. "You're magicians now, so you can do it." "But we aren't really magicians." The two clowns got behind the boys and gently pushed them forward. "Yeah, sure, but we aren't really clowns," said one of them, as they continued to push them forward until they were sitting in the box and closed the doors. "Dusclops, step forward," Butler called out to one of his Pokemon assistants. "Dusclops," it replied as it walked towards the box. The clowns spun and jumped their way cheerfully off the stage as Butler began to speak to the audience again. "Seeing as Ash and Max are great magicians already, they should have no trouble in escaping this box before it is destroyed by Dusclops' hyper beam." The audience gasped in shock. "They will only have 10 seconds to escape before it is destroyed, so let's begin the countdown." Butler began to start counting down whilst Dusclops began to charge up its hyper beam. "How are we supposed to get out of here?" Ash asked. "I dunno. There's got to be some sort of trick to this somehow." "I hope," replied Max nervously. The countdown was getting closer to the end and the audience were on the edge of their seat. Especially May, who was chewing on her popcorn fiercely. 2-1. "Dusclops, hyper beam," called out Butler. With that, Dusclops fired the beam towards the box. Ash, Pikachu, and Max suddenly went downwards inside the box to find themselves in a small room where the floor elevated them backwards. The hyper beam had now destroyed the box, leaving a trail of smoke and bouquets of flowers descending towards the audience, who were in awe. Meanwhile, Ash, Pikachu, and Max had stopped moving down below and started to be elevated upwards. The audience cheered as they saw that the boys had managed to escape the box perfectly. Incredible. Not only did they escape the box just in the nick of time, but they made bouquets of flowers appear as well. Just then, Ash, Pikachu, and Max were brought back to the top of the seating area. "Let's give it up for our new magicians, Ash, Pikachu, and Max the Great." The spotlights aimed themselves towards the boys and the audience clapped and cheered for them. Thank you," said Ash cheerfully, with Pikachu thanking everybody back. The boys ran back down towards the stage where Ash waved and thanked everybody once again. Just then a grabbing device appeared out of nowhere and got a hold of Pikachu, dragging it away. "Pika!" It jolted out as Ash turned around. "Pikachu!" he cried out as the device formed itself into a ball cage and landed in the hands of the two clowns from earlier up high on a mini blimp. "Now that's magic," said the female clown, as Pikachu tried to electric shock itself out of the cage. However, it didn't work and it kept trying again. "Your electric attacks won't work in our zap trap." "Give it up," replied the male clown. With that, the clowns flipped off their attire to reveal themselves as Jesse and James of Team Rocket. "Now on with the show," they both said. "It's Team Rocket," said Ash in anger. "Give me back Pikachu. For the final trick of the evening, we are going to make all the Pokemon disappear." Jesse said, "Does the net containing my DNA and Curly D from below the blimp?" The Pokemon tried desperately to get out but just couldn't do it. "The best part of the show begins now," said Team Rocket's third member, the talking cat Pokemon Meowth, who activated a switch by the spotlights to open up the big top's roof. He joined the rest of his team as the blimp began to float away. "Who's the clowns now?" they all said as they began to laugh. "We have to stop them," Brock said as he and May were preparing to get up from their seats to help. "I'll get him," Ash said, ready to throw one of his pokeballs. "Allow me," Butler said, looking calm and confident. "Behold," he called to the audience. "For our final performance, we have an encore. Dusclops, Capitata." Dusclops summoned up a blue flame and fired it towards Team Rocket's blimp. One of the ropes came loose and Jessica dropped the cage containing Pikachu as it opened up, freeing it. Ash caught Pikachu just in time before it hit the ground. "Pikachu," he said, feeling relieved. "What say we have an encore of our own?" Pikachu fired a thunderbolt attack hitting Team Rocket, which broke the rope of the net containing Medina and Curlia. The two Pokemon landed on their feet just fine. "No magic show is complete without a vanishing act, so we saved the best part for last," called Butler, still making sure he was entering his audience. "Dusclops, use Nightshade." Dusclops then fired out a Nightshade attack which sent Team Rocket flying upwards towards the sky. "Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again," they cried, as they soon disappeared. "Bravo!" The audience cheered, all thinking that Team Rocket was all a part of the show. "Looks like those guys won't be back for an encore," said Brock, as he and May clapped along with the audience towards Ash and Max, who cheered happily. Later that night, after all the audience had gone, Butler, Diane and their Pokemon kept Ash and friends behind to thank them for their help. "It was no problem," Ash said happily. "Thanks for letting us be a part of the show." "The pleasure is all mine, gentlemen," replied Butler. "I'm sure you'll become great magicians someday." "We hope you get to come tomorrow night as well," said Diane. "Sure, we'd love to," Max said, not feeling so shy anymore. May was desperate to ask Butler a question and walked closer towards him. "Hey, Mr. Butler, sir. Do you think I could be a part of the show tomorrow night?" "Please, please, please, please," she asked desperately. "Well, I shall see what I can do," replied Butler, unsure of what to say. "If some of these guys want to be a replacement assistant for you tonight, maybe I could book you a seat with me, Diane," said Brock, trying to make the moves on her. Max grabbed him by the ear and dragged him away. "The only assistant she needs is one to keep her away from you," said Max, feeling embarrassed. Diane didn't reply and just looked confused. Butler was deep in thought and then snapped his fingers. "Well, I just might have the perfect troll for you, if you'd like," he said towards May. "Really, you'll let me help you with the show?" she asked excitedly. The next morning, Max, Brock, Pikachu and Diane were outside the tent preparing to help set up for the show. They were waiting for Butler to appear out of the tent so he could show them something. "May I introduce to you our newest clowns, Ash and May," he called, as Ash jumped outside the tent. "Ta-da," he called out happily, wearing a big clown jumpsuit with yellow and orange stripes, a big matching hat of the same colors, purple neck collar with big cotton balls and curled shoes. "What do you think, Pikachu?" "Pika," it replied, approving of his look. Just then May appeared, jumping out of the tent, also dressed as a clown. "Tadwo," she cried, as she tripped over and landed face first on the ground. "Are you okay?" asked Ash, as he helped pick her up. "Yep, I'm fine," she mumbled, feeling totally embarrassed. Her clown outfit was quite different to the one that was previously worn by James. She wore a pink-colored jumpsuit with yellow bow ties, 4 buttons covered in yellow polka dots, white puffy gloves, big red clown boots that curled at the tip with jingling bells attached, a white neck collar and a pink hat with jingle bells dangling off the ends. Her face was colored with white face paint and 2 hearts painted on her cheeks. To top off her costume was a big red rubber nose. "You look great, sis," said Max, looking at her costume. "Yeah, you really look the part," replied Brock. "Thanks," she said, feeling a bit happier. "I asked if I could have something a bit cuter from what that creep James had on last night." "Well, it suits you nicely," said Diane. "You'll be a great clown, I just know it." "Just remember to take it easy and do your best," said Butler. "I'm sure you'll be able to entertain everybody." "We sure will." "Come on, May, let's get ready for when all the people arrive," said Ash, encouraging his friend. "Then," she replied, following him. As the day went on, Ash and May were walking around the carnival handing out posters to Butler's magic show and doing their best to entertain anybody that came to see them. Ash was really getting into the swing of things and having a great time. He wasn't the best at trying to tell jokes, but he was quite animated and was slowly getting decent at juggling rubber balls. May, however, was finding it a bit hard. Her attempts to juggle resulted in getting hit on the head several times, and she often tripped over when trying to bounce around a lot. Eventually, Ash and May took a quick break after going around the carnival a lot to grab some food and sat down on a nearby bench with Pikachu joining them. Ash noticed that May wasn't all that talkative and looked a bit down. "You feeling okay?" he asked concerningly. "I dunno, Ash. I don't feel like I am really cut out for this job after all," she replied sadly whilst taking a sip of her soda. "Hey, it's okay. You're doing your best and that's what matters. I think you're doing fine." "Thanks, Ash. But I feel I need to talk to Butler about this too. I appreciate your concern, but I just need to make sure this is the right role for me." She got up off the bench and turned towards him. "I'll be back soon, okay? If I take too long, go ahead and carry on. I'll find you." "Sure, okay," Ash replied as he watched May walk off. "I hope she's okay, Pikachu," he said to his buddy. "Pikachu," it replied, feeling worried. May arrived at the big top where only Butler along with his Medina, Curly and Dusclops were inside practicing for the show. "Oh, hello there, May. How is it going out there? Are you being the best clown you can be?" "I'm trying to, sir, but I just don't think this is working for me," she said sadly. "Oh, but why not? I can't seem to get into the rhythm of this at all. I keep falling over. I can't make the audience laugh, unless it involves me being clumsy without intending to be. I can't think of any funny jokes. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this." Butler put his hands on May's shoulders, looking serious. "I'm so sorry this is happening to you. But you should never worry, my dear, because I can help you become the best clown you can be. I know just the thing that can help you." "Really? You know how to help me?" she asked, feeling a bit more hopeful. "Certainly. Why, my good friend Curly here always knows what to do whenever somebody is feeling down." "Curly, we need your help, my friend," he called out towards his Pokemon. "Curly," it replied gracefully, walking over to him and May. "Our clown in training needs your positive energy to help her to be the best clown she can ever be. Could you help her?" "Curly, Curly," it replied, as it looked towards May, telling her that it would be more than happy to help. "Thanks, guys. I really appreciate this, said May, now starting to warm up with a smile. She then kneeled down so it was easier for Curlia to be in contact with. Curlia, let's give our friend the help she needs, Butler said, as Curlia started to give full eye contact towards May whilst she did the same with Curlia. The Pokemon started to slowly chant and wave its hands in a rhythm around her. May kept full eye contact on Curlia, making sure to never look away, wondering what it was going to do. Then Curlia's eyes began to glow a dark shade of red as it continued to chant. May began to fall into a deep trance and her eyes lost all life in them, never looking away. Butler's welcoming smile soon changed into a more menacing one and began to chuckle. Oh my dear May, you didn't suspect a thing, did you? I wasn't lying when I said I was going to help you be the best clown you can be. But I'm afraid you're going to be a permanent clown for my show and you'll always obey my every command. He then walked on over towards May, still heavily under Curlia's hypnosis. Excellent work, Curlia. Your hypnosis never ceases to fail. Curlia was still in full concentration. Butler then looked towards May, ready to speak to her. Now then, my obedient puppet, you will obey my every command forever. Do you understand? Yes, I'm at your command forever, replied May in a lifeless robotic tone of voice. From now on you are going to be known as Maisie the Clown. You shall always have your abilities heightened to where you are a near-perfect clown who can be acrobatic without fail. You'll be able to effortlessly make balloon animals for all the children. You'll be a great tamer for any dangerously wild Pokemon acts. Be great at slapstick humor, know how to juggle without fail, and be a great assistant in my magic tricks. You will now address me as Master, but when around others you shall call me by the Great Butler. You will be my clown for life. So then, who am I? You are my master. Who am I when you are around others? The Great Butler. What is your new role in life and what is your name? My role is to be your clown for life. My name is Maisie the Clown. Excellent. You are very obedient, Maisie. You shall also allow me to take care of your Pokemon forever too. Yes, Master, you shall keep my Pokemon forever. Fantastic. Now then, I want you to test your new abilities as a clown. Climb up that pole there and walk across the tightrope. Yes, Master. May climbed her way up the pole, ready to start walking the tightrope. Being under deep hypnosis following Butler's orders was actually working at making her have better coordination. She walked across the tightrope effortlessly, not having any trouble at all. That's incredible, Maisie. Now then, come down here. May made her way back down and walked back to Butler, standing motionlessly waiting for an order. Now have a little dance using all those jumps and spins you were having trouble with before. May started to dance for him now, pulling off the spins and jumps without ever losing her balance this time. Butler chuckled to himself, feeling proud that he got May the way he wanted her to be. Well done, Maisie. I think you're just about ready to get back out there and continue to entertain everybody. Now go back out and be the best clown you can be. Yes, Master. May obediently walked out of the big top off to do what Butler had ordered. Butler chuckled, feeling very proud of himself. Excellent work, Curlia. The girl really wants to be in the show and be the best she can be, so I think we've done her a big favor. It also helps to have somebody completely obedient around after losing last night's clowns. People have quit being clowns for me far too many times in the past, but that won't happen ever again thanks to you. It couldn't have come soon enough that you would finally learn hypnosis, my faithful companion. The Great Butler's magic show shall continue on with no more interruptions ever again. Curlia smiled for its trainer, but deep down inside it wasn't at all happy with what it had been asked to do. It worried for the state of its dear friend.